Hey everyone, and welcome to day 5 update for the home theatre audio upgrade. So I believe where we left off last time was some of the acoustic panels had been done, and I had ordered some more. So what I managed to get done over the weekend was to complete this wall. So as you can see, it now goes all the way down. Did some pretty neat cutouts around those sections there. Originally I was actually using a smaller blade to actually cut them, almost like a safety blade. I went to a longer blade, an exposed blade, and that actually worked a lot better. And just the fact that it was a brand new blade meant that it cuts through them a lot easier. And that actually worked a lot better. So this wall is actually complete. Now, from where I last left off, you would have remembered a sort of pyramid design that I'd made on this particular wall. Strangely enough, my wife actually quite likes the look of having the panels. So she's actually asked that I complete the entire wall, and basically I've ordered some more to do that. Before I managed to do whatever I've done here, what I did get done was, so originally there was only two rows there. Yeah, it was 2 rows. It was around about there. So what I managed to do was get the top 2 rows done. So I'll just get my finger out the shot so it focuses. So as you can see, I've now got both top 2 rows done, and I've also completed this side as well. Now on this particular side, what you'll notice is all of the little offcuts I've managed to put just up there as well. So that side is actually now fully complete. I didn't manage to take it down any further because basically I got that completed. I got this section completed, and then basically I just wanted to try and complete as much of that side wall as I could as well. The big cupboard is now gone. Lighting gear as well as tripod will be going soon as well. I did also just tidy up some of this cabling as well. So I remember I told you about the sleeving. I did also put on the conduit there, and in the previous video this was all very evident. It looked kind of like that. So that section there where you can see the white, the reason for that is it just isn't clipped in. So I just need to clip that back in. So it was kind of strange looking at the last video when I was watching it back that there was a line showing there, even though it was fully painted, and basically it just wasn't clipped in. So the inside of it is actually white. Apologies if you're getting any type of noise in the background. My neighbours, their builders are actually still around, so they're currently doing work next door. Today's plan was meant to have been the Atmos speakers. So originally the plan was to actually get these installed today, either today or in a couple of days time. It's not looking likely that that's going to happen because the person that's supposed to be helping me with that has run into a few issues of his own. So what I may do is I might just, the other plan was to try and get the grills painted. So I've taken off the sort of felt lining on the inside, and I was going to just put these in a box outside and just get these sprayed up, so then they have a good chance to dry and cure and everything before we go to actually install them. Plan for the cables in the corner, in order to bring them down, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the, online they just call it a cable tidy or cable hiding conduit. But essentially it's the type that people use in order to bring cables from behind the TV down behind the console. So it's literally just going to be a circle cutout that you just screw onto the actual ceiling, and then it has a little rubber grommet that you basically feed your cables through, and then once you've fed all of them through, you push them up. So essentially there's going to be a circle in that corner just there that is going to bring the cables down, and then I'm going to run a conduit down here, hence why I've left that side of the wall completely exposed, because I'm not sure 100% yet which width conduit I'm going to need. So it is the same as that one there, so that should be thick enough to actually bring all the cables down. And then what I'm planning on doing is just around the screen on the sides as well as the top bit, if I can get enough offcuts, I'm going to do the same thing. So just use this on those materials as well. I've found that it does actually help quite a bit with light reflection back onto the screen. So that's light that's basically coming off the screen and bouncing around the room and washing out the image. I find, and also just when it's like this, that's a lot less reflective than that. So since doing that, I've noticed there's a slightly better punch to the actual image, and it just looks a little better. I've changed up the LEDs slightly, so just changed the color theme. So we've got purple running around the screen at the moment, as well as blue on all of the sofas and the console itself. There's not a lot left now, so now it's a case of working out where I want my Atmos speakers. Now the Atmos speakers are going to be slightly compromised in the sense that it's right now, especially because obviously there's my seating. Eventually the seating will end up here, or just behind, maybe around about here. So the sort of main seating position is going to be just behind the actual center point in the room, which is around about here, which is what both of the side surrounds have been set up for. The Atmos speakers, I'm going to try my best to actually get them to angle roughly around about halfway past the main light up to here, and then similarly with my rears around about here. I don't want to push the rears too far back, and I don't want to push the fronts too far forward. Firstly, just because I don't want to really be working over any of that, so if I can avoid that and avoid having to rip everything out. The other thing is, obviously I don't want to get too close to the screen, because I'm not really sure how you're meant to actually clean the screen. I don't really want to use anything on it. There is dust, quite a bit of dust. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so you should be able to see just there. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of fine dust that's kind of gathering on the sides, and I can also notice like just a tiny little bit of it on the actual material itself. There's something just there that you might be able to see just there. But I don't want to wipe the screen just in case I cause any damage to the actual screen itself. So that's something that I'm going to have to look into in terms of how I actually maintain the ALR screen and ensure that we're not getting any damage caused, which is going to be really obvious once you actually come back to watch movies or anything. One thing that I did do since my last update was I reran Audyssey. Now that was before I'd actually removed the cupboard, so the Audyssey was run just with all of the acoustic panels and obviously the speakers, but there was a big cupboard right there. So in terms of your left and right separation between your rears, it almost was seeing it as a barrier, possibly some of the reflection directly off that cupboard as well. I reran Audyssey, and this time around it's now getting to the point where I went to watch Black Adam 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago on Saturday. Just before the actual movie, it ran the Dolby Atmos demo. Now, one thing that I noticed is the sort of panning motion that you get from any of those demos, where something pans all the way around you. So it goes from your front soundstage to your left, to behind you, from your rear left to your rear right, and then onto your right speaker, and then obviously back onto the front soundstage. That actually sounds a lot better for me here, sat in my ideal seating position, than it did in cinema, mainly because the seat backs are so high that in the cinema it can't really be set up to maximize rear surround for anybody, as far as I can see. They have speakers there. Apologies once again for the sound. They do have speakers there, but for me, just the sort of envelopment of sound, even without any Atmos speakers right now, is really impressive. So that's something that I'm instantly pleased with how well it's actually performing already. And hopefully once I've got the Atmos and the height channels installed, and then everything can work together, and then I can actually see the full benefit of those Dolby Atmos demos. But even just the sort of 5.1, 7.1 aspect of those demos is coming through really well. So that's something that I did mention before I did all these upgrades, that it would have to be something really special for me to want to upgrade from the previous setup I had, and this is already looking like it's pretty special. So yeah, things are going well so far. Hopefully I should be able to get the Atmos speakers completed soon. I've got a few little bits and bobs that I need to order off Amazon just to help me with that, so I'll detail those in the next video once everything's installed. Next update will probably be once Atmos speakers are installed. Now, I have ordered more panels. I've ordered quite a few more sets. Whether or not that's enough to complete this wall, so the next plan will be to try and complete this wall first, and then ideally I'll also want to do that bottom section. In fact, what I may do is I may do that section first, complete the rest of the wall with whatever I've got, and then if I've got any left over, then I can go to that section there as well. Regardless of wherever the main seating position is going to end up, whether it's here or there will be seating at the back in order to get enough seating in this room. So say for example that is pushed all the way back, this one rotates around and this one rotates around as well in order to get 3 tiers or 3 rows. There will definitely be something at the back for those people that aren't as concerned about audio. I will obviously have to do something with regards to raising it up in order to give clearance for the screen, so you're not seeing the back of people's heads. But yeah, it's so far everything is working out okay. Few more little bits and bobs that I need to work out, and then obviously the Atmos speakers is the big challenge that I need to get over next. So that will be the next update. So if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'd really appreciate it if you could also give this video a thumbs up. And until the next one, thanks very much for watching.